What's up, everybody? We're doing it again. I'm Chris Eaton, and welcome to episode 96 of Sinks and the Fatman. Yeah, you know what's going on with Morph Market. You know. But apparently, we're not going to talk about that, according to the script. But, whatever. You already know, you know. Okay? According to Morph Market, Tinley Park was a blast. Morph Market had a lot of fun and also became the USARK Reptile Industry Defender Champion. The USARK Reptile Industry Defender Champion. They also got to show off all the new features, including wait lists, which help you find a perfect home for your animals without even listing them. Right now, the Morph Market team is working on more animal management features to print tub labels with QR codes to track husbandry events. And they're also working on an enhanced buyer ratings to help you understand and pre-qualify potential buyers. I think they've been asking that for a while now, so that's pretty good, I guess. Morph Market has so much more planned for this year, including new owners. Usability improvements that simplify things so that the site is welcoming and friendly even to new users. Increased plan capacities so you can list more animals for sale. Local shipping so buyers near you can find animals without the need to ship. A wholesale marketplace to help you easily find homes for your animals at a discounted price to accredited buyers. And integrated payment processing to reduce the friction by closing sales right on their site. Read more on the Morph Market blog and get ready for great things to come. morphmarket.com. All right, we're going down to Texas and we're going to find out what's going on with herps. This weekend, they're going to be in Slidell, Louisiana, April 1st and 2nd. Then they're heading back to Austin, Texas on April 22nd and 23rd. They're going to be in Pearland, Texas on May 6th and 7th. They're going to be in Lake Charles, Louisiana on June 3rd and 4th. They're going to be in Conroe on June 10th and 11th. That's Texas, in case you didn't know that. Yeah, they're going to be in Conroe on June 10th and 11th. I'm going to try and get out to that one. Then they're heading back on over to Shreveport, the old Shreveport, Louisiana, on June 24th and 25th. Look at that. They're going to stay in Louisiana. Maybe not a month, but they're going to go back to Louisiana on July 22nd and 23rd. Then they're going to be in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, July 29th and 30th. Listen, you already know what to do. You want to find out this show schedule? You got questions for Sean and Lori? Head on over to herpshow.net, and they have a little question section there that you could directly interact with them. herpshow.net. Hello, everybody. This is going to be a relaxed, chill show. I'm not going to call out all the jackasses and hypocrites. I'm not going to be mean to haters and keyboard warriors. I just want a nice, relaxing episode. I just feel like we need a break. Maybe I'll put out a fucking clickbaiting thumbnail saying, "Is this the end of the Fatman?" Fuck. Shit, sorry. Trying to stay positive. See, I can't help it. It's just something in me. All right? I'm going on vacation this month and I want to be happy. So I'm just trying to not get aggravated and be chill. Oh, and I started smoking weed this week. Listen, there are no Repta bitches allowed on the Repta train. Stop being a fucking cunt, man. At the end of the day, you know that Repta chip is the best cocoa substrate on the fucking planet. Not only that, but it's been like 5 years, man. 5 fucking years. And none of the other fucking cocoa bitches are actively helping the community like ReptiChip is with the Reptolution brand apparel. Plus, they all have fucking stupid names, right? I mean, come on. Go with the guy who's a veteran. Go with the guy with the track record. Go with the guy that drives the fucking Repta train. Get on board now at reptichip.com. Redline Shipping is the #1 service for all your live, reptile, aquatic, and invertebrate shipping needs. Email Robin with a fucking Y at redlineshipping.com to get your own custom discount to save you money over any of the competitors. Since we're in a hazy shade of winter now, live shipping is less frequent due to the cold temperatures, but you could ship your merchandise and dry goods year-round with Redline Shipping. I actually just did that. I fucking shipped with Redline over to the winner of the Stop Sounding Like Shit and Looking Like Shit contest. So, listen, I'm not only a spokesperson, I'm also a client. And I used the fucking Fatman code and got $5 off my already discounted rate, okay? That's all I'm saying. Merchandise can be shipped with overnight, 2-day, 3-day, and ground services. If you follow Redline guidelines for temperature and heat pack use, you could ship live animals throughout the winter and still make use of Redline Shipping on time and live arrival insurance. RedlineShipping.com has the best website and interface in the industry, including features and functions that no other service offers. The site is fast, smooth, and easy to use. Use this code right here, FATMAN5, and you could get the same discount that I did on my shit, okay? That's all I'm saying. $5 off the already discounted rate. Redline Shipping is the spot. It's the place to be. Join Team Redline and be better off red. Sticking with the toxic positivity of this show, I meant positivity of this show, we are announcing a new contest with Mike Stefani over at Mike's Monitors. We're giving you a chance to win a Mertens monitor directly from the legendary Uncle Mike himself. This is exclusive to Snake Sniff Fatman. Boom, Mike giving away a fucking water monitor. I mean, that's just how we roll. Obviously, this contest is going to be slightly different from the last one because we can't just give a fucking $2,500 Mertens away to a fucking idiot that's going to keep it in the fucking tub. So we're going to need proof that you could take care of the fucking thing. So when we picked the winner on episode 100, Fucking 100 episodes. Fucking milestone in Fatman history. That's literally because I only did the show once a month 7 years ago. So, and it's taken us a while to get here. But episode 100, we're going to pick the winner of the fucking Mertens monitor by Uncle Mike. But when we do pick the winner, you will have 2 weeks to get in touch with Uncle Mike. I will facilitate that call between the winner and Uncle Mike. And you have 2 weeks to get the setup necessary to keep this fucking monitor. And the setup has to be according to Uncle Mike's specs. Mike confirmed with me that you could set this up for under $100. Our main concern is the well-being of the animal, and this is really the only way that we could confidently do this. Like I said, we can't be handing over this animal to any random ball python idiot that's gonna keep it in a fucking freedom breeder tub. It seems like a lot, right? But not really. But we have another little benefit. Uncle Mike will give you instructions on how to actually socialize this monitor. Imagine winning this gorgeous animal and then getting personal instructions on how to care for it from a fucking legend. Rules for this one will be similar to the last one, where you have to share the contest ad and tag Mike Stefani of Mike's Monitors and Snakes in the Fat Man. Then you have to take a screenshot of that share and then email it to me. This contest will start on the next episode. That's episode 97, and that will be on April 15th, I believe. And the winner will be announced on episode 100 on June 1st, where Uncle Mike is going to be my special guest, and we're going to discuss the whole monitor world and this particular contest. So good luck, everybody, and look for that starting next episode, episode 97. Say goodbye to spreadsheets. Say hello to Clutch. Hello, Clutch. This brand new cloud-based software makes managing your ball python collection simple. With Clutch, you can easily create, search, and filter your collection, visualize your projects with analytics and insights, keep track of past, present, and future clutches, and connect every customer with the perfect animal using their amazing waitlist system. They launched already, all right? You could fucking become a member of Clutch right now. As a matter of fact, head on over to clutch.io. That's CLTCH.io. And learn more and get ready to discover the power of your collection.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes in the Fat Man proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
Hey guys, it's Justin at Canova. So in the past few years, Canova's become the top source for amazing ball pythons. Now Chris tells me, Justin, it's time to give back. So we're sponsoring the 15 Minutes of Lame to support the new and upcoming breeders. So jump in here. Let's hear your ideas. Let's hear your thoughts. Maybe you can turn your 15 minutes of lame into 20 years of lame, just like I did. If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. So bring it.
15 Minutes of Lame!
What's going on, everybody? Look who I got here this week, or this bye-week. Whitney and Jason Epps from Beauty and the Balls. What's up, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty, not much. How are you doing?
Good, man. You're in Alabama, huh?
Yes,
Alabama, right? Big Forrest Gump fans or no?
I love Forrest Gump. Actually, I can quote every word of that.
Yeah. Do you know where?
We're all the way up north.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. Name me a big city where you're at.
Huntsville is the top. So there's Huntsville, Birmingham, and Montgomery, Mobile. So we're at the top.
Okay, so your airport that you would go out of is Birmingham?
Huntsville Airport. Yeah.
Yeah, we have
Huntsville. Okay.
airport.
That just sounds like a 2-airplane airport.
It just sounds like a little more expensive airport. Yes.
That's all it is? Okay. All right.
A little more.
All right. Good. Well, you know how this works. We're going to pimp your shit and we're going to give you 15 minutes and that's going to start now. What's with the name? Who came up with the name?
That would be me. It started with our first breeder. We got her and she was already gravid. We did not know. So when our first eggs came, we were like, oh my God. And it was in our first year, literally. And her name, I had already named her because I was trying to go with Disney Princess. I like Disney. Her name is Belle. So I was trying to, go with Belle and Disney. And then Beauty and the Balls just rolled out of my mouth. And then the design I drew on my son's Etch-a-Sketch and gave it to a designer, and she made my dream come true with our logo.
Okay, so I heard that you were walking past the mirror and you were like, fuck, I look good. And then you saw Jason walk past the mirror and he was like, oh, right? So fucking, you're like, all right, let me name this after me and Jason. Obviously, Jason is not the beauty of the group, right? So
he's definitely the brains.
He's the brains behind everything. He looks like a psycho, brilliant bomber or something like that. Yeah, like very Timmy.
He is an engineer, so
nuclear engineer.
So you had it right.
All right. Fuck it. Now, how long you been doing this?
About 2 years. We got our first snake in 2021. So Belle and like she said, we got our first snake, first female gravid, and we were just.
That was like our fourth snake owning. Like,
it was like, hey, why aren't you eating? Maybe we'll pair you with this snake and see what happens. And she didn't eat again. So then next thing you know, we had a pile of eggs, and luckily we had an incubator that we got the week before. We'd already planned on breeding already, so it was planned already. But
right. Yeah. Well, and obviously ball pythons, right? So you had 3 other snakes prior to this one that was pregnant when it came to you?
Within a couple months. Like, yeah, we just started collecting snakes like, Pokemon cards.
Did you start doing it like all the idiots do it and just bought these random ass snakes that have nothing to do with each other? Or did you specifically go into it with something in mind?
Yeah.
There was some pretty good planning in going into it.
I will say that I would be like, "Ooh, that one's pretty. You should work that into your little program there." But for the most part, yeah, he had everything planned out.
Yeah, had to take a couple of turns when she said, "Oh, this is a pretty snake, I want it." And then like
okay. The Xanthic.
Yeah. Well,
so from those 4, what has it grown to in 2 years?
We have 50.
50
breeding plan. Yep. And then 15 hatchlings that we still have in the back there that
so 65.
Haven't sold yet.
Okay. And when did they hatch?
So most of them all hatched last year. So we had 7, 1 clutch the first year and then 7 clutches last year.
Okay. So you guys bought into this, getting larger snakes, right? More mature snakes.
Yeah, we started with a few hatchlings, a few older ones. So they were all various ages, so we could start breeding right away, wait a year, breed more last year, and then breed even more this year. Mm-hmm. Right. We have about 12 clutches for this year.
Okay, so this pregnant snake that you gravid snake that you bought and didn't know it was gravid, was that like your test run to see if you were able to hatch, eggs?
Yeah, basically we wanted to see what if we liked it even, and then as soon as we got the eggs, it was just like, it's awesome.
Gotta keep doing this. Gotta have more.
What did you end up getting? Because you obviously couldn't tell who the father was, right?
Yeah, it was funny. There was only one that was like obviously from one of the fathers, because everything else turned out to be what the female was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was kind of fun.
And what was the female?
She's a pastel butter GHI. So we ended up with a bunch of like a GHI, butter GHI, pastel, yellow belly, Enchi, which was we knew that was one of the fathers, and then Calico, which was the other father.
Thankfully, who we got her from told us that, like what it was paired with. Whereas, some of these breeders, you can get it and you have no idea
Right.
what.
Right. That was my main question.
What to look
He
for.
told
So
us what
it worked out.
Right.
And but no
So
single genes, it was great.
Right. But you're still rocking like the 2010 genes with that clutch, right?
Yeah.
Because they're all older genes, right?
Yeah. It was pretty exciting still for a
They
first
sold.
clutch.
Right. Yeah, no, relax. I'm only fucking with you, all right? Calm down. It's not an attack, all right? So in the last 2 years, how much money have you dumped into this?
So we got 2 books, basically the stuff that we're saying, I'm spent this money on snakes and racks and rats and everything that we have, and I have to make this back. That's $85,000.
$85,000.
Yeah, and then like if you count everything else that we put into it, like going to shows and all the show stuff that we, the cases, display cases,
everything that we do,
everything, it's quite a bit more than that.
Okay, but would it be safe to say 125?
Yep.
Yes.
Safe.
Yeah.
And all right, okay. How much have you?
150.
150. All right. So that just makes it worse. Out of that 150.
Yeah, but we went all out. Like our displays, we got the next level displays. Like we didn't come to the table with Tupperware cups. Like we went all out. Yeah. We decided to just go big or go home. We got the ARS racks. We got the like everything that we got is like top notch, so that we didn't have to upgrade. Right. So we had the money to do that, though. So we understand. If other people have to start with ramekins.
All right. Calm it down. Out of that 150, how much have you gotten back yet?
$8,000.
$8,000.
Yeah.
If
like that's like for the snakes and rats. If we count plants and some other stuff that we sell at our table, it's closer. It's like 12,000.
Okay,
so 10% back.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, if it went from 8 to 12, that means that half of the money that you got back could have been not snakes, and you could have just did the plants and just got that $8,000 back.
I do really well on the plants. Yeah.
Yeah. You seem like a crazy plant lady.
I definitely am.
Yeah, definitely.
You wouldn't let me shoot this in the sunroom with all the plants.
You're very poison ivy. I get that vibe from you.
I would love to be that for Halloween.
Yeah, I definitely get that vibe. Now, what are some of the projects you're investing in?
So we're starting out mostly pretty hard with clown, and we have some lavender albino, ultramel, desert ghost,
Xanthic,
pied, and then a little bit of puzzle coming up. So and
Xanthic, my favorite.
It's her favorite. So.
Xanthic, huh?
Xanthic, I like the absence of color. Dark like my soul, but white like an angel.
Oh, that's adorable. That's very, very. It's a very Alabama answer.
I'm just kidding.
No, I do. But it's cool that you're getting into puzzle. Are you obviously looking towards double recessives and triple recessives? Is that the plan?
Absolutely. We got it. We have Clown Head Ultramel project going. We started with some really young hatchling, and we also have Xanthic Het Clown that we're going to work those two projects, and then work them in together. I have a quad recessive project, but that's going to end up being years down the line.
Are you avoiding hypo because it's a white trash gene?
Learn.
It's we are avoiding hypo because there's a lot of hypo in this area, so
Yeah.
we
Okay.
try to.
Is there a lot of competition out there in Alabama?
I mean, yes, yeah, there are a lot of good breeders around here. We all do tend to do different things. We kind of work together, like we do have different stuff, but there is a lot of competition around here.
What's the closest show to you guys?
We actually have one in Huntsville that CF Exotics throws, but the next closest would be the Gadsden Show Me Snakes show, which
Okay.
is 2 hours away in Murfreesboro,
Tennessee.
Okay.
They're all
So
like a 2 hour difference away, all of them.
How far are you guys from Knoxville?
4 hours.
Okay. Oh,
We vended there once.
We did vend there. That was like the worst show we've ever vended.
yeah, that was it's just a shithole show. It's just like it I think there was 25 tables there in the whole place. And
when we went, yeah.
Well, yeah, when I went too, and I just went 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So, but I heard the Nashville show was better, but that's probably 6 hours from you guys, right?
No, 2 hours. We will be there in April.
In Nashville,
You should go.
Yeah, Nashville's about 2 hours
actually
away.
might. Yeah, I actually might.
It's going to be a big show because they postponed it last year. We didn't get to do it last year, so everybody's really looking forward to the Nashville show.
Yeah, I heard it was 10 times better than the Knoxville show.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's talk some sponsors here. I don't know how you guys are going to do here because I don't really know you guys. So let's just start off easy. Do you use Reptichip?
We use Easy Hatch trays that we buy from Reptichip.
Man, that's fuck. I see what you did there. That's a good answer. Okay. Man, I don't know. Does JT give you a fuck you or not a fuck you? Because he doesn't make the trays,
Sells the trays.
but you do buy them. You know what? You're going to get the first ever half fuck you. It's going to be a bent middle finger. Okay. Are you only doing ball pythons?
No, I'm going to start doing leopard geckos. I'm just getting into it. So I did get 2 tangerines and I paired them just to kind of like sample, like test the water, see how it's going to go. It goes into another one. We bought a rack that we're going to be putting those in.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you happen to buy one of those tangerines from Frank at Geeky Gecko Creations?
I didn't, but I learned how.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I learned how from him.
All right. Frank. Oh, really? Okay. So you watch Frank's videos?
Yeah, I messaged him actually and asked him a million questions. He probably will know me by name now, but I asked him a million questions before I did it, make sure I had everything right. And he's great. I do look forward to buying something from him, especially that online when you posted.
All right. So Frank, this is you're gonna get 2. You're gonna get 2 half fuck you. So Frank gives you a half fuck you.
I'll take it.
Now, are you a member of USARK?
Of course.
Yes.
Okay. All right. You say of course, like fucking everybody should know that. But
I even did the auction.
Be.
Okay, I won a leopard. Well, I won a leopard gecko from that USARK auction, and I'm proud of it.
Okay. And obviously, you're gonna say yes to this. You use Morph Market, right?
Yes.
Okay. So John Lehman does not give you a fuck you. Now, I'm looking at your logo, and it's a good logo. I love the T-shirt, but it doesn't look like it was done by Stewart Design.
No, it was not.
All right. Blake Stewart gives you a full-fledged fuck you. Have you ever bought a snake from Justin?
We have not. I'm still waiting for the perfect one.
Oh, is that what you're doing? All right.
But
no. You keep with this bud.
We incubated Justin Kabelka's snake eggs in our incubator.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. For a friend that had a snake from Justin Kabelka.
Oh, that shit doesn't count. All right.
It's a cousin. We're in Alabama.
Yeah. So it could very well be a husband or a wife also. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Do you have a sea serpent's rack in your house?
Yes, it's the leopard gecko one. Yep.
Fucking Chris Nettles does not give you a fuck you. Do you have a focus cubed habitat cage in your house?
No, we promote Focus Cube.
We promote it.
Not in our house. Not yet.
All right. Stephen and Ashley say that that's not enough. They both give you a fuck you. Okay. You're in Alabama, so odds are you're going to say no to this one too. Have you ever been to a herp show?
Yes.
Boom. Fucking that's surprising. Where and when?
It was the Louisiana. It was in Louisiana. Was it? It was Slidell, wasn't it?
New Orleans last year.
New Orleans, and
we're
we
trying
are
to
get into the Slidell
show this year.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Didn't we talk about this on the Zoom call?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Sean and Lori, they do not give you a fuck you. You have to ship with Redline, right?
Yes, we haven't yet, but we do.
We haven't needed
We're
to
signed
ship anything in the mail yet, so we're waiting on that. But I'm ready.
All right, good. You can use my $5 code. Are you a member of Clutch? Did you use that for organizational aspects of your animals?
I signed up on the first day. Still waiting. I was on the beta waiting list. So.
Okay, yep. You do not get a fuck you because a lot of people are trying and they haven't done it. But it's going to be out in 2 weeks or it should be out by the time this airs. So you should be able to do it. So you guys did pretty fucking good there. I got to tell you, you didn't do bad. Now, what's your most anticipated thing that you're doing this year?
Okay, based on sales, like what people keep asking us for at shows, everybody wants clowns and everybody wants pies, and we're going to have those this year. So I'm looking forward to the pies because everybody wants pies around here. I mean, most of the, traffic flow that we get is people that just want it as a pet. So that's what.
Okay. All right, gotcha. And that's what the shows over there ask.
Mm-hmm.
And look, it doesn't even fucking matter. Okay, because your time is up. But I gave you 17 minutes, all right, because Whitney's really hot. But what we're going to do is we're going to give you 2 more because Whitney is so hot that Whitney is getting 4 minutes, okay?
Nice.
So you're going to get 2 more minutes, but fucking Jason, you cannot talk now, okay? This is Whitney's time, okay? So how could people get in touch with you?
We are on all of the things. We have Instagram, Facebook. We are on Morph Market, of course. And he has a YouTube. I have not done a YouTube on there, but yes. And it's Beauty in the Balls if you search for it. And but if you go to Facebook, it'll have all the links on there.
But I don't understand. Jason is doing the YouTube and not having the hot one in there.
I'll do it eventually. Yeah. He has a different style. Like he's like, here's a snake and here's what we do. So I'm too high strung for that. So when I do it, I'm going to go all out.
All right. Jason, just so you know, that's a recipe for failure. Okay. What you need to do is you have Whitney there in a low cut shirt saying, this is a snake. This is what you do. I guarantee 500 more views. Now, the one last question that I have, obviously, I'm your favorite podcast guy, right? So who's your next favorite podcast people?
Oh, you can say it. You can say it.
Holdback Rack podcast is the other one we listen to.
Holdback Rack. Okay. So they're getting up there these days. So, okay. You don't listen to anybody else? You can say it. Go ahead.
Not really.
Right.
Not really at the moment.
Okay. All right. That's what I want to hear. I could take that. I'll share with the Holdback Rack. That's fine. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. I appreciate that you took the time. I appreciate that you did a little lighting there and everything else to come on. So I fucking love you guys. And do you have anything else that you want to pimp?
I wanted to do some shout outs to our local peeps. First of all, Gray Family Snakes, Richard and Lori, thanks for hooking us up with this nice fella here.
Yeah,
And
Richard's a dick though. Fucking, I heard he forgets everybody's name when he's put on the spot. That's what I heard. Okay.
and then I have a really close friend, Lauren and Dustin from Morph Mixtape. They're going to be coming out with some really nice stuff, and they're, just like a few minutes away. So watch out for Morph Mixtape. And then we have our supplier for all of our bedding and our rat food. We use Southern Critters, and he also does ball pythons as well.
Obviously, he's not a Reptichip distributor.
It's really hard to get Reptichip down here.
Yes.
Like, it's crazy expensive.
There's
All right.
nobody in our area that distributes within 2 hours, so it's kind of hard to get it down here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what was the most money that you ever spent on a snake?
Oh gosh.
Spirit of Sanctia.
I think it was about $3,000.
So you spent $3,000 on a fucking worm, yet you won't pay an extra $1 for a brick of Reptichip. Why would you not do that? I'm just saying. All right. I'm going to talk to JT. We're going to see if we can hook you up.
Okay.
Guys, thank you again for doing this. I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you having us on. Thank you.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes in the Fatman proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
Listen, guys, Stewart Design doesn't just create logos, they build brands. What do I mean by this? Well, your brand has both a verbal and visual side. Think of this as your brand message and brand image. Your brand message is what initially draws clients to you and continually generates new business. After that, the quality of your product and service keeps them coming back and retains them. Without effective messaging, you're only going to be connecting with a small percentage of the clients you could be connecting with. Your brand message helps you clearly define who you are, how are you different from your competitors, what value you offer to your clients, and why potential clients should choose you over others. For this reason, Stewart Design always starts branding projects by developing your brand's message first. Creating a logo without understanding why and how it needs to look is only going to hold your company back and should be considered fucking malpractice. Stewart Design starts by clarifying your goals, audience, and industry. Then they form your messaging. After that, they strategically determine what colors, styles, and fonts make the most sense to use. And then finally, how the logo needs to look and function. You see, the visual identity of a company should be a natural result of proper strategy. Because the question really shouldn't be, do I like this? It should be, will this work? Stewart Design figures out what will actually work and provides you with a true investment to grow your business. When done right, it should attract the right people and it should reflect your business properly. It should make your company more memorable and it should build trust and credibility with your clients. On the other hand, if it's done poorly, it could do the exact opposite. It could make you look amateur and can actually deter your business. Don't settle for a fucking idiot that simply offers you a cheap logo. Build your brand the right way. Bring out your best so you could get it right from the start and finally move out of your mother's fucking basement, crush it at Tinley, Pomona, or Arlington, and build a life for yourself doing what you love. Contact Stewart Design today. You could reach them at sdidentity.com. Again, that's sdidentity.com. All right, so what we have for you today is a guy that puts his money and his fucking body where his fucking mouth is. His son needed a kidney, so Sal Gomez of Gomez Python stepped up and put his body on the line to save the life of his fucking son. After that, he just got right up and ran the New York City Marathon. and raised over $8,000 for the National Kidney Foundation. He and his family are the subject of 2 episodes of the new Netflix series Emergency NYC. So head on over there and at least watch episodes 7 and 8, which Sal and his family are a major part of. Here's my one-on-one with Sal Gomez of Gomez Pythons. What's up, everybody? Look who I have here. The fucking marathon running madman, Sal fucking Gomez out of New York. He's one of my New York brothers. What's going on, Sal?
What's up, man? I've actually been thinking about changing my name to my my reptile company and calling it like Running Reptiles.
No, don't do that. No,
I was kidding.
No, Gomez. And normally I would say, well, it's just your last name. It's not too creative. But if the other option is Running Reptiles, then Gomez Pythons is brilliant. Okay, so just stick with it.
I appreciate the honesty.
but let's just get right into it. Like, you are someone who's putting your money and your physical well-being where your fucking mouth is, and you're running marathons in support of kidney disease awareness. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yep.
And you just did a New York marathon last year, right?
I did. Yep. Back November 6th, I ran the New York City Marathon, and that was the very first marathon I ever took on too. So yeah.
That's fucking crazy that the New York Marathon is the first one that you fucking took on.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm from New York. I live on Long Island, so it's only 60 miles from me. And it was, I mean, I grew up here my whole life. This marathon has been happening for my entire life. And I just always knew that it was happening. And I always hated it because I work in New York City.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass, right? Yeah.
Because they shut down roads and they, you know, hold on. And they,
right.
You know, and you gotta, come on. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem, man.
I had to let the dog back in. Yeah, so you know, they would shut down all the roads, and it would be a pain in the ass to travel through New York City. And now, for the first time, I got to experience New York City in a completely different way, and yeah, I loved it. I love it, man.
Was it brutal just getting to the marathon?
It is a pain in the ass. Yeah, logistically, it's a giant pain in the ass. You know, you got to stay. I had to stay in New York City. And the race begins in Staten Island and then finishes back in New York City. So you got to take the train to the ferry, then the ferry to Staten Island, and then get a bus from where the ferry leaves you off to the start of the race, and then walk 1.5 miles before you ever even get to run 26.2 miles. So,
yeah, fuck that. That just sounds horrible. I would just be like, I'm just gonna give the money to the kidney disease awareness place.
Yeah.
And not go through that fucking hassle. Yeah. But what made you want to do that? Because it was, you know, I mean, you saw the amount of training that you were doing prior to it, and what was the thing the switch that flipped that said, I'm going to run in the marathon to support kidney awareness?
So yeah, so you know, fitness has always been a part of my adult life. And I always liked running just a little bit, but never really did it like I do now. But back in June of 21, my youngest son, Tyler, had a kidney transplant. And during that time, I was his donor. I usually don't try to go into all that because I don't want to take any credit for anything, but I happen to be my son's donor. And during that time, I was trying to, you know, get up and take care of him and do what I needed to do. My doctors told me, hey, no weightlifting, no doing any weightlifting for 10, 12 weeks. And I kind of didn't like that. So I said, well, how about running? And they said, oh, yeah, you know, you could ease into that and do running. So from that moment, I just started running a little bit and running here and there. And as the weeks and months went by, I really started to enjoy it. And knowing everything that I went through with my family and my son with his kidney transplant, and how fortunate that we were that I was able to donate my kidney to him, you know, I get on Facebook and I'm a part of some kidney transplant pages, and you read all these horrible stories of, you know, kids that can't get kidneys, and anyone in general that just can't get a kidney. They go on a wait list for 7, 8, 9, 10 years before they can get a kidney. So I found out about the New York Marathon and that you were able to run for a charity. And then I said, oh, I wonder if the National Kidney Foundation is a part of that. So I looked further and I found that I could get a bib for the National Kidney Foundation. And I always said that I wanted to run a marathon. And then I just said this, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to make it all about raising money, raising awareness for kidney disease. And I ended up doing extremely well. The amount of we fundraised $8,000 in total, and I mean, people just were so generous. It completely blew me away at how generous they were. And the Kidney Foundation was so supportive. They were in contact with me all the time, and it was a really cool experience, really nice, and I felt good about doing it. You know,
right. Now, so you gave your son a kidney, right? Yeah. At any point, is there even a little fucking part of you that just thinks, man, this kid is going to behave his whole life? Because now I could just say, dude, if I didn't give you a fucking kidney, right, you wouldn't even be here to take out that trash. So take out the fucking garbage, okay?
Right. Well, so I'm sure, a lot of that goes on in joking here. And yeah, maybe it crossed my mind once or twice, but just like with anything else with kids and teenagers, he doesn't give a fuck. I mean, he does, but he, at the end of the day, he's a 15-year-old kid, Yeah,
well, once he got it, it's like game over, Dad. I don't have to do shit. I'm fine now, right?
Yeah. And it's not like they could take it back,
right.
So,
holy shit! And did that whole because you have a day job also, right?
I do.
So did that taking on that responsibility of the marathon? Like fucking interrupt your snake breeding stuff for the year?
So yeah, that's a good question because, so you only have so much time to give, in a day, right? I mean, and so much energy, mental energy, physical energy before something has to suffer, right? So you can't just do all these things and do all of them well without something suffering. So the actual taking care of the snakes and the snake breeding and the attention to the animals, that didn't suffer. But I was putting a lot of effort into social media, my Instagram, my YouTube, and growing that portion of my business. And yes, that has suffered. I stopped making YouTube videos. The last YouTube video I made was, I want to say like October, maybe September of 22. And every time I think about it, I go, damn, I really need to get back on the ball, and our good friend, Shane Kelly, he always, him and I feed off each other for things like this. And I'm always like, God damn, man, you're killing me. I need to get back in because he's so consistent and he's, every week he's there and he's doing his thing. So yes, that portion of things has suffered. But luckily, I built up a small little following, and I had people that were interested in my animals. So luckily, to this point, I haven't had an incredible difficult time getting rid of some of the animals. So that's great. So yes, I do have to get back to focusing a little bit more energy into that aspect of the business.
Well, you're one of the few guys in this hobby that I've never heard a bad word about. Okay.
Well, you got to start talking to the right people then.
Yeah, I guess I try not to surround myself with cunts, but fucking but you, like everybody, like Shane, Brian, all the New York guys that at least that I talk to hold you in really high regard, and that's one of the reasons why I figured let me have you on as a main spot, because fucking everybody fucking loves you, man. And it's kind of irritating But at the same time, it's like, damn, I wish, what do I got to do to be like Sal? Do I got to run my fat ass in a marathon and then die in a marathon because that's what'll happen at like mile 0.7.
Yeah.
And I'll fucking just drop dead of a heart attack. And like, it's just insane how your reputation has pretty much garnered the respect that you have, because really you've been doing this for a long fucking time, a lot longer than most of the new people that have been coming out in the last few years.
Well, so first of all, thank you for those kind words. It's very nice of you.
I didn't mean to compliment you, just so you know. I just,
all right, well, it did happen, so we got to recognize it.
Yeah,
right.
The last thing I need is people like fucking Chris complimented Sal. What a fig! All right, like
you'll be on your way to not being hated.
Yeah, that's right. That's very true. The first step in not being hated. So yeah. But how long have you been doing this, man?
Honestly, I came back into breeding ball pythons it was early 2019, like mid 2019, and I kind of came into it with a fresh start. Figuring I have bred snakes before, but not the way I wanted to do it. Not the way I wanted to create like a little thing where I could possibly retire and then enjoy breeding snakes and make a living, and I don't have to go back to work after I retire at some point. But originally I bred my first snakes back in 1999, where I had some albino boas, and
right.
I bred boas back then. And that kind of morphed into some ball pythons. And actually, my buddy Kevin Johnson and we had some genetic stripes when they first came out. I believe we got them from Ralph Davis back then. Yeah, I think it was Ralph Davis. And I actually hatched a genetic stripe when it was probably about $10,000 back then in a little wooden box incubator that I built out of wood and styrofoam from Home Depot. And one clutch in that box, and I hatched a genetic stripe ball python. So then since then life happened. I got rid of some of my collection, and then I came back into the hobby recently, and a lot's changed since then. But I kind of came in as a new guy, Right, I don't know a lot of people, and then I started to meet people and develop friendships over the last 3.5 to 4 years, and yeah, it's been great. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Now, when you came back in, what was your biggest surprises? Like, oh, people do this now, or oh, this is available now, and it wasn't available, 15, 20 years ago.
Well, 'cause back then it was make as many pied balls as you can, make as many of this specific recessive gene as you can, because there wasn't as many of these other codom genes,
right,
or whatever you want to call. And then so now I was like, oh, it's no longer about trying to make as many candy pies as I can. It's about trying to make a candy pie better, trying to make it cooler so people would want to, buy something different and unique, because we could just buy a pied anywhere for very inexpensive at this point.
Right.
So
how much did you pay for your first pied?
Do you want to believe it or not? I never owned a pied up until.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I didn't own one.
Back up again.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they were $500 then, $600.
Mm-hmm. And back then they were whatever, $10,000-$15,000.
Yeah, I in 2000 we bought an albino ball with like zero intention of breeding it, just because it was cool, and it cost like fucking $6 or $7 grand. And I was just like, what? Like, we could get a really good dog for this price. Like, what do we do? Yeah. And now you walk around a fucking reptile show, you see an albino on a table for $75, and you just get fucking irritated as hell, right?
I do, because I'm actually an albino guy. I like albino. I don't have any albino in my collection, but I have candy in my collection. Right. So candy is like a form of like a T positive. Yeah. So it bothers me at some point, to an extent, that it is so cheap.
Yeah, it really, I mean, it's bad. But you know, like my problem with a lot of the ball python people is when we were doing it initially, I mean back in 2000, 1999, right? You used to just buy a normal
Yeah.
because it was a cool fucking snake, right? And you could just have one snake, right? Now everybody, I don't think there's many people in on the continent, okay, that own one or two ball pythons just
No, it's
because they
impossible.
love it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's everybody has money in their eyes and is looking to breed, and it kind of lost the appeal. Like fucking you know, when I was doing it, we had ball pythons, boas, water monitors, green tree pythons, like everything. We had like a 200 animal collection, and the ball python was just one of the 200, you know, different species that we had. Nowadays, people just do ball pythons. I mean, just have 400 ball pythons, 200 ball pythons. You know, none of
I'm
them
all
have one, and they're like, "Hey, this is Gary," and fucking I've
yeah.
had Gary for
30
25 years,
years. Yeah.
and fucking I've kept him in a glass aquarium the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, I don't own a rack. You
Yeah.
know, so although the majority of my friends are ball python breeders, I do think that, you know, for me personally, it just lost a little bit with the intent that everybody is doing it for money now.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that because back then I had jungle carpet pythons, Irian Jaya. I like Australian pythons, so I had some different pythons. And yes, I know. And
Mm.
in a way, though, I'm actually happy I only have ball pythons right now because I don't think I could ever keep a variety of reptiles like I did back then. I think that part of my life happened many years ago, and I loved
Right.
it at the time. But where I am in my life at this point, I like just because I had blood pythons recently too, no more than just about a year ago. But I decided that it really wasn't a good fit to keep them because
Right.
my
Yeah. See, even when we had 200 different species, it was back when I had fuck you money. And when
yeah,
you're making 70 grand a month, you could fucking
yeah.
just pay somebody to fucking take care of all your shit, you know?
Right.
And you only look at it for how pretty it is or how interesting it is, right?
Right.
I couldn't have 200 now. Fucking
No.
first of all, I don't have the money to just pay somebody to fucking do it. But also just because of the work involved, you
Yeah.
know, and the room that you need. You know, when you have, you know, snakes that could go down to 50 and then snakes that could go down to 90, you can't even keep them in the in the same
No,
area.
you have to have you got to have multiple rooms at different temperatures. Yeah.
So I'm not hating on ball python people because I think that the ones that are doing it right are really doing it right. But I also think that for me personally, that's what kind of lost the appeal. Now, you being back in it for this kind of new wave, what do you think the best and worst things are about the hobby? Because you've been around long enough to know people's personalities and intentions, but you've also been around long enough to say, "Man, this is some real innovative shit that's going on here. I wish I had this 20 years ago."
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I would say I would just play off of what you just said. Really, honestly, that's the biggest difference. Is I open my tubs and I don't have half the good things that a lot of these guys have, and I'm like, wow, I can't even believe that I have this
Right.
cool looking animal. I would have never had this, you know, so many years ago because it just didn't exist. So yeah, I
Right.
mean, the opportunities for different morphs and different, you know, whatever you want to create are almost endless. You know?
Right.
So yeah. And you know, the shitty parts of the hobby, I mean, they're the same things that have always been there. They're like the market's crashing, you know, the people that get in that don't make a lot of money in their first year, even to 2 years, you know, this market sucks and everything about the hobby sucks. And they trash it. It's like, okay. I mean, if you don't like it, then don't be in it. I mean, there's plenty of room in here for people to make a successful small business out of it. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I think that's the same though, because back then I remember hearing, "Oh, we're only a few years away from the whole market crashing."
Right, crashing. Yeah, back in 2000.
Yeah, and I bought into that shit back then too. And then I hear it now, and I go, okay. I mean, this is the same type of people saying the same nonsense. There are ups and downs to every market, except for like maybe pizza, of course, but or whatever. You know, there's up and downs to every single market. You know.
Well, how many the sky is falling recessions have you been through in 20 years?
I mean, I don't know. I have no idea.
At least 6 or 7, I would say. Right?
Yeah, it's been a bunch, but there was a period of time where I was just out of it completely. Like I didn't really pay too much attention to, you know, if the market was up or down. So I always had a reptile or two in my collection, but I never really paid much attention to the business aspect of it. If it's going up and down. But yeah, I mean, I heard it back then in the early 2000s, and I hear it now. I just don't pay attention to it, man. You know, I just do my little thing. I have my room where I could keep about 120 adults, and I'm that's like my max at this point.
Well, also the thing is that if you really love what you're doing, it really doesn't matter if the market's crashing or not, because you produced animals that you love looking at.
Yeah,
you know, it's when people overinflate their collection and overextend themselves that everything gets weird, right? Because it's like, I remember when we had eyeballs, and I used to have to go into every tub every day, and there's 600 animals, and take a picture and fucking clean it and fucking do whatever. And then I took 2 or 3 years off where I only had a couple of snakes here. And there is like a world of difference between taking a picture because you want to take a picture of that animal, or because you have to take a picture of that animal, to make your money or to sell on Morph Market or, something similar. It's almost like with this thing that's going on right now, I actually almost appreciate it a little bit, because it'll get rid of the people who just came in expecting to make $100,000 their first year, or second year. Yeah. Because by now, I mean, I would hope that everybody would know it. Like, you're not going to do it. Like, there's very rare are the people like Miguel, that come in and drop a ton of money and then make that money back right away. Yeah. But, but there's a lot that Miguel has that 90% of the ball python owners don't have. Yeah. And that's like, I mean, that guy's personality, like that guy walks in a room and you want to fucking be a part of his life, right? Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Billy Joe from fucking Arkansas, who lives in his mom's basement, doesn't really have that kind of charisma. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So, what? Go ahead.
I was actually going to say that was another thing that has changed from back then, is the social media aspect of the business too. If you can become somebody like Miguel, you could really, be successful in many different ways,
right?
In the industry, and and hats off to him. He didn't just he created a whole little thing around the ball pythons with his social media, and when I started back in the reptiles, I said, okay, I'm going to make a YouTube channel. And it was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Dude, don't I know it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was. If you go back, I still left the first video I ever made. It was on my Android cell phone with me and my son. And it was just like, hi, I am Sal. This is my and it was terrible. But you know what? I got to a point where I was just like, I don't even give a fuck. I'm just making videos to show people the snakes I have. So just be me, right, and then the cell phone changed. I do it on an iPhone now. I still don't do it on a camera. I still just do it on an iPhone.
Please excuse this brief interruption for a word from one of our sponsors.
How fucking thrilled am I to have Focus Cubed Habitats joining the Snakes and the Fatman family. They are literally the best display cages that I've ever owned. I was a fan of this husband and wife team of builders from when they were putting out these amazing pieces of fucking art from their garage. Stephen and Ashley have been keeping reptiles for years, and as experienced keepers, they understand how important your animals are in your life. Focus Cubed Habitats provide security and comfort for your animals while maintaining these insane, badass designs that everyone can appreciate. They give you the opportunity to make their home part of your home. You want options? They've got options. Every Focus Cubed habitat is custom made to your specs, and you could choose from hundreds of options on their website. Too many options? Ashley and Steven have a huge selection of blog-style articles and complete accessory fact pages on their website to help educate consumers about add-ons that will best fit their individual needs. Listen, at the end of the day, these fucking cages are showpieces. Every cage that Focus builds will be the centerpiece of your reptile room. Hell, they could be the centerpiece of your fucking living room. If you have reptiles that you want to display, look no further than Focus Cubed Habitats. You can follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and even fucking TikTok. Or just go old school and go right to FocusCubedHabitats.com and tell them that the Fat Man told you to drop them a line.
No, I remember, like, this is my second year doing YouTube, and I'm so uncomfortable, even now, doing it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And, but you know, my switching point was just like, who gives a fuck?
That's
you
it.
know, and I'm not an animal guy like most of the people that listen to this. I mean, I love animals, and I, you know, would rather deal with animals than people. But I'm not an animal guy. What this podcast allowed me to do was just to be funny and make people laugh, which is something that I always wanted to do and was told I should do.
Yeah.
But this is like an on the fringe way of doing that. You know, like I tell everybody, it's not a reptile show. It's basically a comedy show that reptile people like coming on. And the only reason reptile people like coming on it is because the majority of my guests have been my friends, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why, but I'm still uncomfortable as fuck doing YouTube. I'm like, every year I'm like, maybe I could go back to just audio, you know, and see if that works. But, you know, fucking here doing it. It is a lot of fucking work. You know how much work it is.
Oh, dude, it's a massive amount of work. But the thing is, too, like, we didn't grow up in this era of this type of stuff, you know, social media.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 43 years old, right? So
I'm 49. Yeah.
Okay. So you got me by a few years, and social media and the YouTube did not come naturally to me.
Yeah.
even just posting on Instagram and Facebook, it was not natural. I always thought to myself, I don't even know why I have Facebook. No one gives a shit about what I do.
Right.
Why am I going to share this? And then when I came back into this and I changed my mindset a little bit, like, you know what? This world now operates through social media. So I have to learn what to do. And then as some time went on, I realized there are actually people that do care. You know, there are people, and if you do it well enough, people will follow you. And it's crazy. And that's one of the things that I love about sharing everything that I've been doing with the Kidney Foundation and running the marathons and doing all these things is I get so much good feedback from everybody that follows me because of reptiles.
Right.
And it's really kind of, so many people message me and like, dude, you're inspiring me. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think you realize that it's actually the other way around.
Right.
You know, you're doing these things and your feedback inspires me to want to do more of this and, you know, and try to do more of it. So I don't know that anybody else really appreciates that. That's on the other side. So it is cool, even though it's uncomfortable, but fuck, I run marathons. I like to put myself in uncomfortable situations, I guess.
Well, Well, the first time I really realized that, that
I have followers that will back me is when we did that Till Valhalla t-shirt campaign.
Oh yes, yeah.
And we sold almost $3,000 worth of Till Valhalla shirts just through reptile people, right? And I was like, oh, maybe we are making some kind of impact, and all this money goes to vets. And then when we did like the pink breast cancer logo shirt, and the shirt sold out. I did not expect that at all.
Yeah.
And that's when I just started thinking, all right, maybe people like it. They're not going to like everything I say, right? But fucking
no, of course not.
But my favorite TV shows that ever existed, I didn't like everything that they talked about. You know, so I'm doing all right, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm one who's like that. I don't know if, you know, because I know you talk to Brian and we talk about things like this all the time, where it's like, hey man, just because I watch a certain guy or listen to a certain guy, that doesn't mean I love everything that comes out of their mouth. I do disagree with, I'm a huge fan of Joe Rogan, right? Sometimes I'm like, I'm not listening to this. I just disagree with his stance, but I love Joe Rogan. I'm not going to stop watching it or listening to it because he said one thing I didn't like, you know?
Well, that's the difference between people our age and people under 30, right? Well, like people under 30 were raised by this everybody gets a trophy mentality, fucking you have to, you know, do what other people say. You have to make sure every aspect of your life makes you look like you're happy on social media. And that I don't understand how the younger people do it, because fucking believe me, there's days when I wake up and I'm just like, again, really? Like, haven't I lived enough days, right? Where I got to go through this shit again. Whereas like my niece, who's like 20, is like, hey, I'm taking a shit. I'm going to Instagram it, you know? And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like, who cares? What's going on here, man?
Yeah.
So,
you know, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say it leads to some connection difficulties between me and younger people, you know? And normally younger people that like me have definitely been raised by people that are like me. You know?
Right. Gotcha.
So, that's that's just kind of the way I see it right now. And also, like, I'm 50. I'm almost 50. I'm not gonna tailor my content to agree what 28-year-old thinks, you know. So
and you shouldn't. So I mean, I'd say you shouldn't. Absolutely not. So
I have a 28-year-old on my one of my teams at work, and when they just talk, I just get up and just walk away. And I'm like, you know nothing. You're 28, right? Just fucking come on, man. Not saying that there's not brilliant 28-year-olds out there. I'm just saying that I don't work with them. So fucking
in your bubble. There isn't one.
In my bubble, there's it's just ridiculous. But like even kids in general, like I have a 12 kid maximum that I could like at any given time. And for any new kid that comes in, I have to replace one of the 12.
That's so great. I listened to a podcast about that, but forget it. It doesn't matter. You go off on a tangent. Like you only know a certain amount of people at the same time. Then you got to start moving people out.
That's all you got to do. And also, you're going to realize this soon too. For every new thing that I learn, I forget.
The other way.
Already knew, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
So, but like I may learn how to work Instagram, but then I'll forget how to fucking drink water.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't want to risk it, you know? So,
right.
The brain has a finite amount of space in it. Oh, Jesus. So right now you're doing 120 animals right now?
No, I have the capacity for 120 adults, but right now my adults sit at I think I'm right around 70 females and 15 males currently.
All right. And what's your average? Like, how many clutches do you get a year off that?
Last year was my most. I did 15 clutches, and the year before I did 12. The year before that we did I think 10. And this year it looks like I'm probably actually going to be somewhere right around the same thing. I'm going to be right around 10 to 12 because I'm in a situation now where in the beginning, I kind of still had some of the old ways that I was thinking. So I made some errors on buying some snakes in the beginning. So I'm trying to correct those errors now.
Right.
So I bred some females and I moved the adults out already. So I have some things coming up this year and next year that I've had to move out. So I don't have that huge inventory of adult females that are all like maybe 78, 75, 80% quality. So I'm still weeding through some of those that I'm not really fitting in my collection.
Right. So you got some junk.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not, it's every bit of it is a learning process. And also I'm trying to hone in on what I have to make it better.
And what do you like? What projects are you working on? I know that's fucking a stupid, ridiculous, fucking ask every fucking podcast question, but I'm curious as to what you Long Island people are working on that's different than the rest of the country.
I'm a little disappointed that you even asked me that question. Right?
Yeah, I know. I'm disappointed. Fucking asking. Right?
Well, I'll entertain it with an answer, but like I said, I like albino, so a lot of my collection is based around candy gene. So I've been trying to incorporate candy into clown, and I coincidentally have pied in it, so I all three. So trying to make that triple recessive with some different codoms in there. But I realized over the last few years, I'm sorry, do you hear my dog scratching?
Yeah, I hear it, but it's
okay. He's just getting comfortable. So
don't even worry, man.
Okay. So I realized something too is like, as much as I love it and breed for the fun of it, I do kind of want to make a little bit of money, right? So the market commands other genes. So I do have over the last couple of years incorporated, a lot of desert ghost and clown and hypo, believe it or not. I know.
White
trash. You trash hypo is the trashy DG. I get it. But this is where you and I may disagree, is that I think hypo is undervalued. But yeah.
I just think that like I'm curious as to why more people aren't getting into puzzle and certain other recessive genes, because I personally again, not to fucking give Sean Bradley props, but fucking, it's a fucking hell of a gene. It's probably one of my favorite base genes, Yeah. So I'm always surprised that more people aren't into that. Now you're in Long Island, where you have Albinos Unlimited out there, right? Rousas.
Oh, Steve Rousas. Oh yeah. Steve Rousas. I met Steve Rousas many, many, many years ago. And actually, funny story, Steve Rousas and I and a friend were out jet skiing at one point many years ago. And Steve dumped the jet ski and his phone and his wallet and everything right to the bottom of the ocean.
I never met him, but I heard he's fucking fun as shit to hang out with.
Yeah. Fun dude. I only hung out with him a couple of times, but you're a really fun dude. I think he has a warehouse here somewhere. Right. I've never been to it. We've texted a few times because I know he worked with candy. So I was looking for a visual candy clown, and he said he had nothing left. So yeah.
Well, you're in an area that I was surprised has a lot of good ball python breeders out there.
Yeah. There's a lot.
You're Bernard. You have that other guy that coughs during his podcast all the time. He may not be in Long Island. He may actually be in Albany. I don't even know his name. But you have quite a few people out there. You got the Blue Line guy.
Hector Honey Reptiles.
Hector from Honey Reptiles. Yeah. Who are some of your favorite local guys?
Oh, you can't make me say that.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. Well, you know what? These guys are personal friends of mine. Baker, of course, Devin Baker from Blue Line Morphs. Anthony Soto from Reptile Creations. You know Anthony?
I know of him. I don't know him personally.
Yeah. Anthony has an amazing collection. Yep. Even Anthony D'Andrea. Sorry if I said your last name wrong, but Python Perfection.
I thought it was DeAndrea, but okay.
DeAndrea, there you go.
Yeah.
DeAndrea, yeah. That's what I said. I knew I butchered it. Yeah, guys like that, all local to me, that we're all friends. We all talk to each other, and really cool guys with really nice collections, you know. And I don't want to leave out my friend Eric Wagner from Big E's Reptiles. He's the one who took over all my rats.
Yeah, Big E. Yeah, I've heard of him. I was definitely thinking about doing a like a Long Island dinner with all of you guys.
Oh, no shit. That would be fun.
Yeah, just to kind of hang out because you know, I met Shamir for the first time when he was actually like a travel buddy with me. And man, after an hour with Shamir, you're just like you want more of it. You're like, this guy is the guy to hang out with, man, you know.
Yeah.
And me and Shamir actually talked about, you know, getting a dinner together, and we'd also have Brian fucking come down from upstate, and you know, kind of like all the New York guys, you know. But I'm just thinking, like, fuck, that's gonna be annoying whatever restaurant we go into. Like, for the waitress and for the fucking owner, you know, all they're gonna be hearing is like, "Hey yo, oh wait, AIOU, fucking sometimes why?" All right,
Yeah.
It's gonna be rough. Yeah,
we'll just go to Vincent's, Little Vincent's in Carl Place. No one will know we're there. Everyone sounds the same way. So,
yeah, well, that's, you know, don't you just hate this fucking New York accent? It's
I know.
Worst.
So many people are like, "Oh, you're from New York." I'm like, I don't know. I don't have an accent. You do.
Yeah, fucking no. I already know. I'm like, fucking, everybody sounds like we're in Greece. All right, like fucking, it's just fucking Greece the movie, not the country, for any of you young people that don't get it. But no, it's going to be interesting, and I think I'm going to work that out within the next month or two. Cool. So what's the 5-year plan for fucking Gomez Pythons?
Oh, well, okay. So right now, the plan is to build the collection to the point where I'm happy with where I'm producing nice looking recessive and double recessive animals in clutches. I tried to produce a candy pie that took me like 30 eggs. I'd like to shrink those odds down.
Right.
You know, on some of the double recessive stuff. I have a long-term goal here. My long-term goal is I work for the New York City utility, and I can retire in 8.5 years from now if I want to. I have 15 years in currently. Right. So the long-term plan is past 5 years. It's really just to kind of set myself up where when I retire, I could actually make it to shows, and I could actually, you know, have a name in the industry and you know, make a little bit of money and be retired and move out of New York.
Right.
I know everyone in New York says that, and they never do. Right. But I actually want to. So
where are you looking?
I don't know. You know, I have two sons that are my one son's about to go to, I believe that he's going to go to West Virginia University. And then I got my younger guy. I don't know where they're going to go to college and where they're going to end up. So wherever they end up, my wife and I will be close by. So we'll see. Mm-hmm.
West Virginia, man. Yeah. Your son is going to be getting loads of pussy. Fucking West Virginia. New York guy in fucking West Virginia, man. Fucking that guy's going to be fucking having to beat off the fucking pussy that he's getting. And you basically just sent that kid to a 4-year pussy vacation.
Yes, I know. Trust me, I'm aware of that. And his long curly hair, and he's tall. He's almost 6 feet tall, well-built athlete.
Yep.
Yeah. It's gonna be trouble.
You just got to make sure, you know, there's no babies left. No baby left behind. Right.
Yeah.
I'm
not even going to touch that one because I don't even want to think about it. So, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Well, also, one of the last reasons I wanted to have you on was when I saw one of your videos 2 years ago, this whole wall back here was a total ripoff of fucking Gomez Pythons. I mean, absolute.
I fucking knew it. I knew it. I said you stole
plank for plank. All right. I was just like, man, that guy has a badass fucking background. right? So, but little did I know that you stole your idea from somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I ripped it off of somebody else. I saw a YouTube video once. I was like, oh yeah, I love that pallet wood wall.
Right.
I love that shit. And I don't even remember who it was, or else I would give him credit because I don't care. But yeah, I did.
Yeah, I was like, Sal's in Long Island. It looks like he's in a shack in the swamp.
Yeah.
I'm like, I fucking love this fucking guy. So literally, that's where my wall fucking came from. But Sal, how can people get in touch with you if they want to get in touch with you?
Oh, well, you could email me, gomezpythons@gmail.com. You can go follow Instagram, Gomez Pythons. We got a TikTok, Gomez Pythons.
Oh, really? Do you have a 3-year-old in the house?
We do have a TikTok, yeah. And we got a Facebook, but it's not Gomez Pythons. It's Gomez Pythons Inc. Because someone stole my Gomez Pythons and I can't get it back. I tried to get it back and they won't give it back to me. So I don't have that. And then they go on there and they're imposters. They post fake shit and they try to sell animals that I have and I can't stop them. I don't know what to do to stop them. So I just let it be. I'm like,
that's fucking, that's hard to get taken down, man. It's yeah, you could contact Facebook until the cows come home, man. It'll be 2 or 3 years before you get that shit down.
Yeah, they don't respond and there's no way to get them. So I was just like, you know what? You could have it. Whatever. I mainly do all my social media through Instagram and YouTube, which I have been, like I said, very inactive on. I have to get back to.
Well, what the fuck is on your TikTok, man?
I do the same things I put on Instagram Reels.
Oh, you're an old guy. You're just like me. Yeah.
I just click it over. It's
everywhere.
Yep. Yeah. It's the same shit. Once in a while, I'll do something with my dogs or whatever, and I'll just leave it on TikTok.
Right.
And,
right.
I don't know. I watch TikTok. I see a music trend, and I'm like, oh, that'll work. And then I do it. So I'm like not really great at editing a video and making it super spectacular.
Right. Yeah, I have 2 videos on TikTok, and one of them's not even mine. The thing that I like about fucking TikTok is I liked one big titty TikTok, right?
Yeah. Oh, and then they come to you.
Now the whole thing is just full of fun.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, man, the Chinese fucking are brilliant. All right.
Oh, yeah.
The only reason I go on TikTok now.
Yeah.
Because God knows I'm not recording a video just for it. But all right, so you're Gomez Pythons on everywhere except Facebook.
Everywhere
but
except
you
Facebook.
do have a Sal Gomez on Facebook, right?
I do have a personal Facebook that I really, I mean, I some people friend me on there, and I don't actively look at it. I have some reptile friends that are on there, but it's not a super active thing. And lately, honestly, all I've been posting about is these races that I do. And
what's the next one you're doing?
Oh, you know what? I'm glad you asked that. The next big race that I'm doing is going to be the Chicago Marathon in October. And I'm doing it again for the National Kidney Foundation. So I know that everybody has been extremely generous in the way that they've donated. And I don't want to ask anybody for any more money. So in the future on my platforms, I'm going to do something where I take some animals that I produced this year and I'm going to sell those animals at whether I'm going to do them at an auction or a discounted rate or whatever it may be. And all those funds are going to go to the Kidney Foundation for as donation. So I don't have to actually ask people for more money so I can go run another marathon, because I have I have big plans in the future for different things to work with the Kidney Foundation and do a lot of different cool shit with them.
Okay, so I'm just looking at it. Okay, the National Kidney Foundation is just kidney.org. So for anybody that wants to just donate, you could go there also, right? So
I actually have the link in my profile of my Instagram.
Oh, good. All right. So
the
yeah,
link I do have it in there, but I haven't done anything with it. I haven't posted about it. I've had personal close friends and family donate. And trust me when I tell you, I love doing these races. I love running marathons. It's something that I'm really super passionate about. But I'm not doing that just so I can run, because I could just go run anywhere, any marathon, and almost any marathon without having to raise the funds. I just find that raising the money and raising the awareness is important to me. So that's why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it for selfish reasons to go run a marathon, because I could just do that.
Yeah. I mean, I had an ex-girlfriend that traveled the country running marathons, and I'm just like, why? You could literally go outside and run 26 miles and fucking be fine.
It's totally different. Yeah, but yeah.
but yeah, I mean, marathon running is something that, as a fat guy, I will never understand. But I will put a link to kidney.org in the description of this video, if that's all right.
Oh,
and
yeah. I mean,
you want to donate, just make sure you go there and leave a little fucking note that says Sal sent you. Okay. And this way, at least Sal gets the credit, so that he knows that him running in these dumb marathons is actually doing something. Okay. So,
it'll actually automatically go to that. It'll automatically, through that link, it'll automatically go to the fundraiser.
Oh, good. All right. So I'll definitely put in there, and I'll make a donation also. So
I don't expect that, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, brother. Fucking dude, thank you for taking an hour out of your afternoon and fucking hanging out with me. And we'll try and knock out that dinner in the next month or two.
Hell yeah, man. It was my absolute pleasure to be here. Honestly, I know you don't want to hear the compliments, but I appreciate it. I really do. I did not expect you to ask me to come on your show. As we said, I thought it was,
Sal thought I was giving him 15 minutes. I was like, what?
I'm like, why me? But I do really genuinely.
It's because all the shit that you do, and the fact that you put your money and your actions where your mouth is. Like fucking, it's not just talk with you. So I'm like, I can't ask this guy to do 15 minutes. Plus, everybody's heard of him. The guy's been doing this for 20 years, right?
Well,
I can't ask people like that to be on 15 minutes.
I mean, that's a little stretch, but I'll accept the kind words. One last thing before we jump off, by the way, and I know I got to tell Brian this. So during my son's kidney transplant, we had Netflix did a documentary at the hospital, and we were a part of it. So that actually is coming out on March 29th.
And what's that called?
I believe it's called Emergency New York, Emergency 911. I'm not 100% sure of it. My wife is the one who wanted us to do it. So we had cameras follow us from the start to the finish. They filmed the entire surgery, transplant. They came back. They're actually coming here on Sunday to do a little interview with us.
Nice. Okay.
To promote the show. So yeah, so we're actually going to be. I haven't seen it. I'm kind of scared to watch it, and a little embarrassed to watch it, honestly. But it's going to be on Netflix. Yeah.
Well, I think that's great that another reptile guy is going to have a fucking TV show, and I think you're a little bit more liked than the current one that's actually going to have a TV show. So go you, okay?
Okay. All right, man.
Oh man, I literally thought that when I asked you what it was going to be called, you were going to say it's called "Ow, My Side." All right. But it is what it is. Listen, Gomez Pythons, go follow him, go subscribe on YouTube, do whatever you got to do on Instagram and TikTok, and fucking donate to the link that's going to be in the description of this video. Fucking Sal Gomez, everybody. Thanks again, brother. I appreciate it.
Right on.
No. Well, that's what you're gonna end with? Huh?
Right on. I said,
all right, bro.
I don't want to keep pushing that. Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
Dude, you're a fucking rock star. Thank you, brother.
Geeky Geckos is Arizona's largest gecko breeder, and they're helping usher the fat man into the leopard gecko space. They have a really popular YouTube channel for education, care, and breeding and all that other fun shit. And they have an active community on Instagram, Facebook, and Discord over at Geeky Gecko Creations. Oh, since they're in Arizona and it's fucking 98 degrees there in the winter, they could ship year round. Plus, if you buy from them, they basically have free consultations about your collection for life. That's forever. Forever and ever. Call or text Frank today at 480-299-7657 with any questions or inquiries that you have. That's a fucking man that stands by his shit, that he's willing to give out his fucking cell number to all of you degenerates. There's another Snakes and a Fat Man special with Geeky Gecko Creations. It's hard to fucking say. There's a special 10% discount on all applicable animals using code SATFM10 at checkout. Go check out Frank and his awesome fucking animals at geekygeckocreations.com. I hope you guys had fun today with Whitney, Jason, Sal, and myself. I love all those fucking guys. And if you want more, join the old Patreon family here at patreon.com/snakesandthefatman, where we have exclusive shit there and no toxic fucking Discord. You know how I feel about that. Toxic Discord, toxic positivity. That's not positivity, man. The Zoom call on the last week of March went phenomenal. I mean, over 50 people showed up. And we invited all of the haters that have been talking shit about myself, Luke, and Brian online. We just invited them all. We figured if we did anything wrong, we'll take our talking to. Okay? We figured let's see if we could work things out. And wouldn't you know that not one of those fucking bitches showed up. So I could literally give less of a fuck now that you didn't have the balls to fucking show up on what you have to say. Also, don't forget to watch Fat Man live on April 2nd this Sunday if you haven't gotten enough of my cheery fucking personality yet, where I'm gonna have Jen Coghlan on. Jen Coghlan is not a breeder. She's just a fucking keeper. And she takes way better care of her animals than most of you guys do. She is drop dead gorgeous and she's just a keeper, but she's smart as fuck. Get the keeper's insight on this sometimes ridiculous fucking hobby that we're all in. Again, that's happening on Sunday night, April 2nd, right here on the Snakes and the Fat Man channel. Finally, catch the new episode of Bronx Down Under this Tuesday, April 4th. At 8 p.m. Apparently, we're ruffling some feathers, and honestly, we don't give a fuck, okay? We could have a pocket full of fucks, and we wouldn't give them to any of these motherfuckers who are talking shit right now. We're just gonna keep having fun, and we have some announcements on that episode, so make sure you fucking come here and laugh a little bit on Tuesday night at 8, April 4th for Bronx Down Under. Go subscribe on YouTube, follow on Instagram, friend me on Facebook. Just, if you can, do all of that shit. And if you can, join the Patreon at patreon.com/snakesandthefatman. Thank you guys for hanging around. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if I don't see you before then, I'll see you in the next 2 weeks. Thanks again, everybody.
Everyone talks their own shit about what kind of racks you should buy. Metal racks are great, but everyone doesn't want a goddamn 7-foot high, 6-foot wide, 2,000-pound metal rack in their fucking house. That's a 2-refrigerator footprint, man. 2 fucking refrigerators. Sea Serpents makes insane quality racks that could fit anywhere. They're stackable PVC racks that are living room friendly, and they're shipped fully assembled with heat tape already installed. Just plug it into a thermostat and you're ready to go. When we had the shop, we had over 20 sea serpent racks there before they ever became a sponsor of Snakes and the Fat Man. I don't breed much anymore these days, but I still have a few racks here in my house, and you could be goddamn sure that they're sea serpents. Oh, and they also make hot box incubators, probably the best reptile incubators made in America. At the height of our breeding business, we had 4-foot hot box incubators, and again, I still have a small hot box incubator here in case anything I keep actually does breed. Go to seaserpents.com and check out their incredible selection of PVC racks, and tell Chris Nettles that the Fat Man sent you.